Hey guys, Market Move update. We're focusing a lot on this because, first of all, they're doing a great job following the criteria that we look for at Tribe 100X, not just for pre-sales, but also for after that pre-sale launches. That's why I got involved with it. We focused so much attention on it. We addressed all the red flags and concerns that people had, even that I had, but this still checks out and it continues to check out. So we're going to continue to keep you posted and update on this channel. And I'm also going to say, I'm going to continue to look for utility tokens going forward in the Tribe 100X community. If you're not part of our Tribe 100X, we continue to identify trends and work together to sort and find really awesome projects to get involved with. We work together to find that, not financial advice, but we're doing a phenomenal job. I'll put some links below. Check out the gains that people are reporting and learn a little bit more about how we sort and vet these things. This was one of them. I found it because of the Tribe. We highlighted it. We did a live call during the pre-sale and also during the pancake swap launch. And a lot of people have been able to do phenomenally well with it. In fact, I'm going to get into a review of their AMA here in just a minute and talk about some of the highlights there, especially for those of you who maybe have trouble following Mike's accent, the COO's accent. Some people have a more difficult time than others catching up with all of that, or maybe you just don't have time, or you want a little bit more commentary on what different views might be on some of this stuff. I'm going to share with you some of the key things and the highlights of that AMA in just a minute. But I just wanted to mention for those that are in our tribe, congratulations. Please do post in the gains, what gains you got, so I can track that. That allows us to keep track of trends. But anyway, many in our tribe, got involved with this in the pre-sale. And then I got in, I was a little lazy and got in here. I got in on Pancake Swap. I didn't take the time to just register. It would have been simple to do for the whitelist. So I got in on Pancake, but you can see still a huge win. So yesterday, this was a snapshot I took yesterday. It was about 48 hours later, and you could see it broke the all-time high at this time. When I did my last video, it was having trouble breaking this high and had come down. When I did my last video on my YouTube channel, you'll see it was somewhere in here. And now it's just gone way, way beyond that, which I'm just not surprised. These utility tokens, if they continue to communicate, to follow up, let's look at the chart here really quick. They're just doing phenomenally well. And it has done a little correction here. You're going to see that, guys. But look, when I did my video yesterday, it was trying to break the all-time high here. It was coming down about here. If you look at my last video, it was in here. And I said that I do believe that within the next couple of days or sooner, it's going to break that all-time high. And they've just done a phenomenal job with communication and with following up on rediscussing the vision. That's what you're looking for in the early days of a project launch. And that's why it did this. And a lot of people were anticipating a demo coming out any minute today. Again, I'll talk about the highlights of the AMA here in just a second. Our next big event that we're looking for is they're going to do a demo of the first feature that's going to come out for the MarketMove app. They're promising that everything will be out by the end of the year, that all the full features of the app. And again, for those that don't know, I'm assuming everybody watching this at this point know, MarketMove is promising to be the best resource of tools, like a suite of tools to help you select which are the best projects to invest into. And first on the Binance Smart Chain, you'd be able to do AI contract audits and stop loss orders, like all kinds of tools and resources for investors on the BSC. And then they're going to expand into Cardano and Ethereum. Again, we'll talk about more as we get into the AMA review here in just a minute, but that's the basic crux of why people are excited about this. And again, for those in Tribe 100X or who join us in Tribe 100X, I'm going to continue to look for these kinds of projects that are utility tokens that continue to do a good job of communicating on these things. And by working together as a tribe, we can find a lot more of these. But let's go to the AMA really quick. And, I know this, for those that watch the AMA, you may not need this. For those of you who might have a little bit more challenge following the accent, or you just want kind of another review and get somebody else's opinion, I'm going to walk through this. So it started out by thanking Steve. This is Mike, COO. Thanks, Steve, and the moderator team and the developer team for working like crazy. And you want to see that. You want to see that from your leadership, acknowledgement of the team and the development. A lot of these projects, they just aren't developing enough, and you don't hear them acknowledging a team because there's no team behind them and there's nothing being developed. I think you're going to see more and more of the successful projects as we go forward, having teams and having leadership that's acknowledging what the teams are working on and reinstilling the vision like you're seeing them do here early out of the gate. They mentioned they were listed by CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap in the same day, which was within 2 days of their launch. They acknowledged that was impressive. I will also acknowledge that that's impressive. I haven't seen too many projects do it that quickly. Now, typically it just means you fast tracked it by paying more money with the application. But there are other things that might come into play, like having contacts and so forth. I don't know if they ended up paying more for CoinMarketCap, but they said with CoinGecko that they didn't need to follow up or anything. So I'm assuming they didn't do anything special based on what they said in the AMA. And they said it was because CoinGecko liked the project so much. And that may very well be. There's no way to verify that. But nonetheless, it's irrelevant. It's impressive that CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, regardless of the reason, got this listed, got MarketMove listed within the first 2 days of launch. They mentioned they were working on the AI-driven contract audit. They reiterated that they recently ran a community poll. A lot of you probably saw that, to see what people wanted first, the AI-driven contract, that should say audit, or the stop loss features and the limit order features on PancakeSwap. They said that they liked that the community chose the AI-driven contract audit because they've been working on that for a long time, even before this project. So it's further along. And in fact, that's what they're doing a video demo of today, using that to actually audit their own contract. So we're really looking forward to that later today. They plan to release a video today, that's what he just said, of their tool, auditing their own contract to see how it works and how it looks. Now, they mentioned that their main goal, they reiterated a lot of things here, but I thought they did, that's what you need to see from a project, is this follow-up and reinstilling the vision. That's the kind of communication that we're talking about, that we look for if we're deciding how many tokens to either leave in, if we're doing a RIP FT, recoup investment profit, free tokens, or if sometimes we decide to RIP, recoup investment profit, and leave a project if they're not doing these things. But because they are doing these things, those of you that are, in our community that are, sorting for these pre-sales and leveraging the Tribe 100X community to build up, your resources to take a bigger and bigger risk with, because, you can as you have more resources, you will probably want to leave in free tokens on this one. I myself, I've said this in the previous videos, I'm not even RIP FTing yet. I'm going to talk at the end of this video about when I might plan to RIP FT, again, when I might sell for the first time, but we're nowhere near that for me because I've accumulated so many successes. I don't need to do that, but we'll cover that at the end of this. I'm just saying they're doing the right things by reiterating these things and instilling the vision, the things that we look for to know if either you're going to hold longer or leave in free tokens if you want to take a quick profit, recoup your investment. Okay, so they said their main goal is building the platform to lower the entry barrier on the Binance Smart Chain. And as I said at the opening of this, and expanding that to other blockchains like Cardano and Ethereum. In 3 to 4 weeks, they're going to release the first feature of the application, which is the AI-driven contract audit, making it easier for investors to see if a contract of a project is legit or not. So that's going to be pretty cool. You're going to need to hold a specific number of tokens to use that application. And if this gets launched and this is anywhere close to what they're saying it's going to be, this is definitely a tool that we're going to want to use in Tribe 100X when we're vetting projects. People have asked, how many tokens does one need to hold in order to access this first release of the AI-driven contract audit? They haven't answered that yet. They're not sure yet. They will involve the community in this decision, it sounded like. They plan to go with a smaller number that you would need to hold. But as they add new features to this application, they will increase what one needs to hold to access all the application features, of course. They don't want to rush getting in on more exchanges too quickly yet. And they just want to, because they don't want to focus on a pump and dump type launch and, marketing agenda. They're developing this out to create stable growth, is what they were emphasizing. And their goal is building a very stable foundation of long-term holders, so they don't mind seeing people selling at this point, which people are going to do. They're going to take profits. We're going to look at the chart in a minute and talk a little bit more about that, what we're seeing, and talk a little bit about where I would have taken profits or where I might take them now if I didn't have a lot of resources. Even if that were the case, I'm going to talk about why I would leave in free tokens still, talk about how many I might leave in, not financial advice, but just what I would do, and there's a difference. I'll be sharing what I would do. You have to make your own decisions. And they talked about on CoinMarketCap, they're the number 2 on the most visited list at the time of the AMA today, which is impressive. And last night, organically, they were #1 on the trending list for 8 hours on CoinMarketCap, which is very impressive. #1, they got the #1 post on Crypto Moonshot on Reddit, and they got a lot of YouTube videos coming out. Most of them probably mine at this point that are unpaid anyway, referring to themselves as the destroyers of scammers, with that AI-driven contract audit. And if it's a good, auditor, it's going to be a really important tool for us to use as we're sorting and vetting for projects to invest to. There's no doubt. So we'll see as that comes out, but right now they're doing all the right things for this to see an increase in price, in my opinion. To get listed on Trust Wallet, you need 5,000 holders, they were mentioning. They're very close to that, so they think they will soon, perhaps by Monday or Tuesday, be able to send the application to Trust Wallet, which allows you to get the logo. They'll have their logo, their MarketMove logo on Trust Wallet, Dex Tools, PooCoin, and other tools. And they pointed out, and this is, it is very good, that the logo helps new investors distinguish this from copycat programs, like scam copycat type programs, when people are searching for MarketMove to see the logo on there. So that's good that that's coming. They reiterated the dedication of the team, including personal sacrifices Adam's making to make sure that the video gets completed and released today. Again, that's the video that we'll show a demo of what's coming out soon, and they're going to be auditing their own contract today in that video. They reiterated confidence that the first release of the utility was going to be really good, it's going to be impressive, and it's going to be easy to use. They're confident it's going to be released in 3 to 4 weeks. So if they hit that deadline, we're going to see some major price action if they continue to communicate and instill the vision, they continue to follow up with the community. I've said time and again, I feel like that the only place that they have fallen short is they are way too quick to boot people from their Telegram group. And it might be that they're not really used to the culture of this community. I don't know. It's just not a good idea to do that so quick. But nonetheless, it won't matter in the end if they continue to do all these other things right: the communication, the commitment to development, expanding their team, keeping their community posted. And of course, anybody that did get booted, that feels that they weren't rightfully booted, you really need to remove your emotion from the process and just join their announcement Telegram, follow things like this, and you can stay updated on everything. Those Telegram groups are actually pretty limited. Once something is launched, you have plenty of access to other information. You got the announcement Telegram. I'll put a link below to their announcement Telegram in case you don't have access to their other Telegram, because a lot of people, influential people even, have reached out to me saying they got booted from that during the pre-sale process. But anyway, so things, that is a small thing compared to what they are doing right so far. They mentioned that they hired 3 people, really top-notch experts, Mike said. Michael, the COO, knows them personally, he was saying, from different projects. One is an AI, I think he said AI ambassador at Intel, worked as chief of data science at something Gemini. I didn't follow that. A lot of you that are more knowledgeable of these different tech companies probably know which company he was referring to. It's irrelevant to me, because all that mattered, he didn't give the guy's name, and I'm assuming he's wanting to protect their identity just to, maybe they don't want a high profile at this point, because it's early and there's a lot of emotions with investors and stuff. And I would understand that. But as far as I could tell, he didn't release the name of the people that he hired. If you have access to that information, please share it in the comments below. Maybe I missed it, but I couldn't find it. He mentioned that this person that he hired, one of the 3 that he was really, really bragging on, and it sounded like legitimately so, it seemed sincere and genuine, had delivered AI products for companies like Johnson & Johnson. And he referred to one that he had delivered very fast within a 3-month time frame when the scope of the project was 6 months. And you could tell he was genuinely excited about the guy, and he said he works like a machine, like a robot. He reiterated that they will be able to complete and release the full version of their application with all features by the end of the year, and really felt that that guy and his experience and what he knew about what he's developed before with AI related projects was going to be why they were going to be able to do this so quickly. It was underscored that the chart looks extremely bullish. I would agree. We'll talk about that at the close of this. Selling is normal, they were talking about, for early profit taking. Totally true. Was highlighted that if a person wants to get rich, they have to zoom out a bit and look at the big picture. Totally agree. Focus on fundamentals. What is the project about? What can it deliver? What is the use case, et cetera? This project stands out because it has a real use and can grow long term. And I would agree with all of that, that if they continue to do what they're doing and they continue to develop and they come anywhere close to implementing and providing the kinds of tools and resources they're talking about that come even close to the vision that they've instilled, this is going to be massive. Of course, it's a big if, but so far at this early of the stage of the project, they're doing great in those regards. They're reminded that the platform will be appealing to use, finding tokens, scanning them, analyzing social media sentiment, etc. And at least in the early phase of development, you won't be able to pay to use it in fiat, or you won't be able to use other tokens or crypto to access these features and tools that they feel will be in high demand. But you'll only be able to access these features of the app by holding MarketMove token, and this will create a lot of buying pressure. And then it went to questions, and I'm not going to go over all the questions, but just the start of it. Of course, you can check in with the AMA and turn it down to slow speed if you need to really follow along. But just a couple of things just kind of show you the sentiment of the questions and the beginning of the process. The first one was, it was acknowledged it wasn't really a question, but more of asking for a response to what whales have been saying that they were most excited about. And it was said that whales had said the feature they're most excited about, and I would agree, we talked about this in one of our tribe calls as well, is the stop loss orders and limit orders that are coming out. Mike's reply was the first priority is the AI-driven contract audit tool, and then the stop loss and limit orders tool is next. He gave a lot of details in his answer of what will distinguish the stop loss and limit order tool from anything else that's out there right now in the Binance Smart Chain. And what stood out to me was his reply to how you will be able to set the stop loss to actually consider if you wanted to go through, if just one or a few people were dumping, for example, and you maybe had a sell order in, as opposed to maybe being able to set it to notice that if it was only 1 or 5 people selling and it hit a certain point that you wanted to sell it at, then you could indicate you don't want to sell it in that case, only if there's a large number of people impacting that price. Because sometimes a whale can come in, move the price a lot early in a project, and it can bounce back right away if that wasn't like the total sentiment of the investors. And it was pretty cool how he was describing how there's going to be some pretty intelligent features built into this to account for some of the unique scenarios, like in this case, when there's low liquidity, when these projects are so young, the price move, it can move a lot, and that the stop loss and stuff is going to have, and limit orders are going to take some of these things into account. So that's pretty cool. If you've done any stop loss or limit orders, you should be able to follow that. If you haven't done those, like in stock market or using like some of these other bigger exchanges in crypto, you may not follow all of that. But these are really cool features that basically allow you to go to bed, go to sleep, and still have orders pending in case the price does certain things, to buy more if it goes past a certain point. And you would know that according to the charts that would mean that it's probably going to keep going, or if it were to drop past a certain point. So definitely pretty powerful if these tools come out. They feel that many of these features will be ready in October, which is fast, with limited stop loss orders. In November, they expect Whale Watcher and social media tracker, and then all functions expected by the end of the year. I mean, this is very aggressive. Like I say, if they get anything close to this thing's going to be, way over 100 million. Market cap in a very short period of time. Of course, that's a big if, but right now everything's looking really good. Someone asked if the buyback BNB, because they have a buyback protocol, right, that's collecting BNB in the tokenomics that they use to buy back their own token and then burn it. They were asking if that BNB was held in a contract or a wallet. And the answer was it's actually held in a contract. And when it's used to buy back those tokens are burned. So this isn't written right. It was actually held in held in a contract and not a wallet was the answer. And I suppose the person asking this just wanted to be able to know, because he was, a little bit more transparency about how much is in there and stuff. It was asked if it can be shown how much BNB is being held in the contract. So for those of you who know Everrise, they were the first to come out with the buyback protocol. It was called the Kraken. And, it had a big impact on Everrise in a positive way and on the success that they've had. And since then, it's been utilized a lot, and this is incorporating that. And I think it was a good move. It's a very successful protocol to have that buyback program. But a lot of people like to see, like Everrise always shares, and a lot of projects share how much BNB is in there because it shows how much, buyback power they have pending. And it was asked if they could show how much BNB was held. And Mike answered that he could share that after the AMA. So I don't know if that's been shared. If anybody knows if there's like a link or they're going to put a page together, put it in the comments below. But he did sound like they would like to be transparent about that. Maybe they just hadn't gotten around to it yet. So, that's basically, where I stopped in providing the notes because you can dig deeper into the questions and answers. I felt like that was the most important stuff. If you need kind of a quick review on what's going on, or maybe we're having trouble following everything with his accent, or just kind of wanted a little bit of commentary to understand the full scope of what this might all mean from another person's perspective. I'm going to keep giving lots of updates on this project. So be sure to follow this channel if you're not already, if you want, because we're going to follow this heavily. And one of the reasons why I'm going to follow this so heavily is because A, I'm heavily invested into it. And B, I believe that it has a lot of potential for the reasons I kind of already mentioned today. And C, it's right in the same alley of what the Tribe 100X community is all about. You know, what we're all about is helping investors to work together to sort and find pre-sales, fair launches, and early micro caps that hit certain price points that are good entry points, and to find the right pre-sales to come in on and have discussions about all of this stuff. So as this evolves and they come out with these tools, you know, we'll be showing people how to use these tools if they develop these tools. We'll be incorporating this into the vetting process. Same thing with Sonar, who is their supposed, you know, competitor that MarketMove says they're going to blow out of the water. We'll see. But you know, Sonar is also talking about coming out with tools that will be supposedly very helpful for the investor. And if so, you know, Tribe 100X is going to follow them as well. And as they come out with tools, introduce people to those tools and talk about those tools, and us ourselves use those tools to help sort and vet for projects that are most likely to 2X to 100X. So we're going to be watching this very closely. If you want to continue to get a play-by-play, you know, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't know about Tribe 100X, I strongly encourage you to look into it. What I'm on the hunt for right now is another one of these. Like I got involved with Ping, Sonar, and went to 70. Let's go see what their competitors doing. I got into that, and so did a lot of our tribe. It's actually called Ping Token. And you see it's 84 million market cap. It's done a huge increase lately. It's just crazy. This just came out, you know, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Let me go see when this came out. It's been a little while, but not long. I'll go to the one-day chart for a second. So this is their supposed competitor. They came out on June 18th. I got into it sometime early. I did like a 2X and got out because nobody was paying attention. I thought, well, I guess the BSC market just doesn't care about utility yet, but it wasn't. But about a month later, it started to take off. So I definitely had the right idea, but the market, I was just a little bit ahead of the market. Now we know, okay, that's where the market's at. So I'm looking for these kinds of projects. You know, these are the kinds of projects that I highly recommend our Tribe 100X community, you know, notify each other about. Again, do your own research, not financial advice. We can't even advise that you be investing in crypto at all. That's not what Tribe 100X is about. It's about a group of people working together to sort for these in a really organized way. And they found this one. I got into it and I did profit on it. And then also MarketMove, that's Tribe 100X is how I knew about this one. And then our insiders brought it up. We said, this is awesome. This is the new trend. And so we did a live call. We did another live call where we went over the live launch on DX sale. Then we did another live call right when it launched on Pancake and discussed entry points and all kinds of stuff people discussed in our community who are really good at this stuff. You know, different strategies that they use on when to come in. Super, super valuable resource. So we're going to keep following this project really, really closely because it's right up the alley of what we're all about. But I just want you to know, if you're in Tribe 100X or you end up joining Tribe 100X, this is also what I'm going to be sorting for, is utility tokens, and specifically utility tokens in and around, you know, assisting investors with picking the right investments, you know, with tools and resources like this. This is obviously a really, really successful trend. So this is looking really, really good. I'll keep you posted. The next big event is the release of the video demo. It's supposed to be coming out anytime today. Let me know if you have any more information to share in the comments below, and we'll keep you posted right here. We'll see you soon.